Hello and welcome to The Ripple Effect. I am Selena. Today's topic is why are you here? A very cliche topic that has um, been talked about. I know um, in churches it's been talked about. Why are you here? Just finding your purpose. Why God created you. There's a cliche statement like the two most important I think dates and times is like when you were born and then the day you figure out why you were born. So, my level of transparency is knowing why I'm here, the purpose God gave me. I did not, like I said in my previous video, I did not want to be a single mother. That's not something I signed up for. It was very much a surprise to me when my son's father decided not to be a part of his life. There was no conversation, it was just pretty much absenteeism. And I had to draw from that conclusion that he was not going to be there. He never said, I don't want to be there, I'm not going to be there. He just didn't show up. And for me, I was very, very young. I was Oh, Lord Jesus, this transparency. I was 20 when I had my son, and I was so young I didn't understand it, even though I am a product of a single mother. My mother was a single mother, but she was married to my father, and they divorced when I was really young. I believe I was 5. And I'm the youngest of 3. I have an older brother and an older sister, and I saw my father. Like I knew who he was. I That's a video for another time. That relationship, but it wasn't as if my father just disappeared. Like I didn't know who he was, and in this particular thing, relationship between myself and my son's father, he just wasn't there, and I became a single mother because of that. And through that relationship, or I say lack thereof, um, there was always this desire in me to wonder, like, was I the only one? Um, in my church that I attended, because I was in the South, and just, I don't know how long these videos are going to be, but I tried to make them shorter in the beginning. This is just a little side note. Just because I'm not sure of people's attention span. But God has given me a word to say, and I hope it bless you no matter the time limit. But anyway, I ended up having my son in the church, not literally in the church, but being a young mom, having a child out of wedlock in the church in the South. And the church that I went to, because I know I mentioned in another video, the Southern church is very unforgiving. I'm speaking about my church. I need to make up a name so I don't say the real name of the church. I tried to protect the innocent, even though they did nothing to protect me. But anyway, so I was a single mother in the church, and there was no one else in the church who was a single mother. The church had a lot of married couples who had children and older, like senior citizens, in the church. And I was the only young person. Like I said, I was 20. And the girls who were in the church, I didn't necessarily grow up with them because, like I said, I had just moved to the South. So I didn't know these girls. We weren't really tight. We weren't really friends, what have you. So there was no one. And at the time, my mother ended up moving to a different town. My brother and sister were sporadically attending the church, to be honest. I hope I don't hurt their feelings in this video, but it's my truth, and I love you. But there was no one who was going through the same plight that I had. There was not another single mother who I could talk to and be like, hey sis, how you handling being a single mother? What's going on with you? How are these church folk treating you? But there was no one. And for that, I built up a lot of anger for that, because I felt like, okay, God, not only am I a single mother, now there's no one to talk to about what I'm going through. There's no one that I can lean on. And when that happened, God told me like I would have to lean on him. I'm gonna have to be real transparent and honest. That's not the answer I wanted. Like sometimes I tell the Lord, like I'm very honest, like I'm here on earth, God, okay? I understand in the third heaven that that's where you are, but here on earth, I need a support system. I need a tribe, okay? OAC Nation, I needed somebody who was with me to help me go through this situation. I did not want to go through it alone. And there were, oh, at the time I was working at probably my son might have been 2 or 3. I ended up getting a job at this university, and it was like a convenience store on the university where you can buy chips and food and all this other stuff. Nevertheless, I ended up working with these 2 other ladies. One of them I knew from high school. The other one I think was friends with the girl from high school. I don't really remember. It was so long ago. But anyway, we ended up forming a friendship, or so I thought. We were all hanging out, having fun or whatever. Sometimes I go over to their house. Our kids would play together. You know, they were all up for let's go to the club. Let's party. Let's do whatever. That was then. This is now. So watch y'all judgment. But anyway, so I thought that these were my friends, that they would support me. So during that time while I was there, I had some car issues. My car ended up breaking down. Now, we all worked at the same job in the same shift, okay? And I probably lived maybe 20 minutes from one of the girls or both of them. I really don't know, but it wasn't that far. So I told them like, hey, I almost slipped out their real name. Hey, Sally, can, you take me to work with you? I'll pay you gas money. Since we got to be the same shift, we got to work there anyway. Just, and I'll pay you extra if you take my son to the daycare center and whatever. Like, I understand it was a lot of work, a little bit of an inconvenience, but I was willing to pay gas money, whatever she needed, because we were working at the same job. Okay, so I think one time she might have took me, and then the other girl, I think, took me from class or something. And it was just like a one-time, I guess, free event. I guess that one time for them was too much. So one day I needed a ride to work, and no one came to pick me up. Y'all have to excuse my voice is so raspy today. I don't know why. It's probably because the devil don't want me to get this video out. But anyway, I pressed forth. And so, long story short, I show up to work, and I was late. And one of the girls had the nerve to say to my face, I laughed because God saved her. Like, why you late, Selena? What happened to you? I'm late because I thought you was going to pick me up to take me to work. Like, oh, no, girl, I forgot. Oh, my goodness, I'm so sorry. Like, now, when it was all up to go out, hang out, they were all cool for it. Excuse me. And I'm sorry, I don't edit my videos, so for those of you who are bothered by my coughing and my clearing my throat, I apologize, but I don't edit. It's just one take. I try to get in, get out, and progress forth. But anyway, when I was going to school, trying to obtain a degree and go to work, they were nowhere to be found. They didn't want to help me get back and forth to school and go to work. But if it was something toxic, they were down. And the Lord had to reveal to me, and I could not understand it. Like, I thought we all wanted each other to do well. We're all single mothers. They were also single mothers. They had maybe 2. One had, I think, 2 kids. The other one had 3 or 4. I don't remember. But anyway, we all had single motherhood. We all were sharing in this same plight. And when I prayed about it, like, why they doing me like this, Jesus? I thought we were cool. And I had to see, and I had to pray about what they really this gonna sound hard. We're good for, like, just a good time to hang out, club, have fun or whatever. But when it was something to elevate myself, they wanted no parts of it. Now, they too had the opportunity to go to school, I'm sure. However, they did not want to help me. And I only had 5 weeks left in the semester. And I ended up having to drop out of college at that time, with 5 weeks left in the semester with a 4.0 GPA. Oh, I was hurt. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. Like, there was no one else. I could have probably taken public transportation, but you try that with a car seat and the extra money it would have cost. I don't even, a matter of fact, I stayed where the buses weren't running because, like I told you, I'm in the South. And public transportation, oh my goodness. But for those of you Southerners who are watching, I hope that didn't offend you, but this is just my shock from moving from up north to coming down here is just very different. But anyway, and so I realized that going through single motherhood, there were going to be friendships and associations that I would have to sever because they no longer served a positive lifeline. And that was hard for me because I had worked at that job, I think, for 3.5 years. And like I said, I knew one of the other ladies from high school. And I realized that, okay, God, I'm going to have to walk this alone. And through that, it forced me in a way, and I say forced because I always have a choice. We all have a choice, but it forced me to depend more on God and to depend on our relationship. And through that, I realized why I'm here. I didn't necessarily want to be the poster child for single motherhood. That is not what I felt I was supposed to be. I originally wanted to be a writer. Well, I'm actually a published author, but I wanted to be I wanted to be a an author like J.K. Rowling author. And for those of you who don't know, J.K. Rowling wrote the Harry Potter series. She is the first billionaire author. Do you understand what that means? How much money she, like Oprah kind of money almost, but not really, but a billionaire off of writing. That's what I like when I thought author. That was my aspirations. Like, okay, like Shakespearean name, Selena. Okay, and I told her like that's what I want. I want to be an author. You've gifted me in that area. I don't want to be a motivational speaker for single mothers. I didn't want to because it's such a level of transparency and judgment that you get. Because my sin, well, I shouldn't put quotes around it because it was more evident. So there was a lot of judgment in church because I had a child outside of wedlock. And they didn't know my story. They didn't know anything about me. They didn't even care to ask. The church was full of judgment and not a lot of love. And mind you, I stayed in that church 20 years. Oh, what was I thinking? But the last 2 of those years was praying and fasting because I didn't know if I should leave the church. And I didn't want people to drive me out of the church. I wanted to exit the church because God had directed my life out of there. Not because it was personal and this person hurt my feelings, so now I'm going to leave. But no, I felt that God had given me this purpose to let someone know that you were not alone. That being a single mother is not a curse. It's not like, ew. I don't know, these people in church, I don't know, they thought they were, I don't know, single motherhood was contagious. Like, they touched me and boom, and now they're 9 months pregnant. I don't know. They seem, eres de loco en la cabeza. But I realized that God had gifted me to be a single mother. And through my trials and tribulations, what the enemy tried to use to destroy my life, it was something that gave me a purpose to speak. And I'm so passionate about it. When I see ladies who are out there who are experiencing the same thing that I'm experiencing, I'm so passionate to encourage them, to let them know it is not the end. It is most definitely the beginning of something beautiful. So as always, ladies, subscribe and become a part of the OAC Nation. Thank you so much for watching.